When a U.S. president assumes office, they inherit a legislative superpower. Executive orders. An executive order is
a rule or order issued by the president to an executive branch of the government and having the force of law.
That means a presidential decree becomes law with the stroke of a pen. Executive orders can only be issued to federal or state agencies, not to citizens. But citizens are indirectly affected by them. Executive orders have been around since the birth of the USA, though they didn't get their formal name until 1862, and they didn't start being individually numbered until 1907. Today, there's over 13,000 orders on the books. The very first one was signed by George Washington in 1789, proclaiming Thursday, November 26th as the Day of Thanksgiving. Executive orders can range from small, like this one, to large, controversial, and historic proclamations. One of the most notable executive orders was from President Abraham Lincoln, who in 1863 issued the Emancipation Proclamation, which proclaimed freedom for roughly 3 million slaves. Not all are remembered fondly. Executive Order number 9066 was signed in 1942 during the Second World War by Franklin D. Roosevelt. It ordered the internment of more than 120,000 Japanese Americans. More recently, George W. Bush signed executive orders for more aggressive surveillance after 9/11. Barack Obama announced both executive orders and executive actions during his time in office, and those are often confused as one and the same. The major difference between them is this. Actions carry no legal weight like orders do. They're more like a call to action. Obama's 23 executive actions on gun control in response to mass shootings in the US may not have been popular with Second Amendment supporters if they had the legal backing of an executive order. But here's the thing. An order can be rescinded or amended by the next occupant of the Oval Office. For example, Executive Order 11,821 was issued by Gerald Ford in 1974. It directed any inflation caused by major new legislation be evaluated. President Jimmy Carter wanted regulations to be as simple and as clear as possible, so he altered Executive Order 11,821 with 12,044. Then President Ronald Reagan revoked that and replaced it with Executive Order 12,291 to assert more extensive control over the rulemaking process, which was later modified by Bill Clinton with Executive Order 12,866, then amended by George W. Bush with two executive orders, 13,258 and 13,422, which was then revoked by President Obama with Executive Order 13,497, because the whole regulatory process first suggested by Ford had become too complicated and political for Obama. So, the way presidents can undo the orders of their predecessors is like the kryptonite to the executive order superpower.